Hello everyone, my name is Corey, and today I'm going to continue with my legendary speedrun tutorials. I'm going to be covering a Forerunner today on legendary, so I'm going to just get this started. This is the third level in the Halo 4 speedrun, and it's definitely one of the easier levels to complete. There's very little combat in this mission. But in trade of that, there's a lot of out-of-bounds sections and a few tricks to skip a big portion of the enemies in this level. So, starting off, first thing that I like to grab is a auto sentry. It's not 100% needed, but it definitely makes the first area a bit easier. And then we're just going to wait up here for Cortana to tell us to put her in the console. So this very first area, that you don't have to run through like a whole bunch of things, you have to encounter the knights for the first time, all of that. We're actually going to skip that with a trick called a button jump, which is something I'm going to do very shortly. So normally when you go through this, you wouldn't kill all these crawlers. I'm going to kill them all just so I can explain this. So play your auto sentry here, then you'd run up and do the trick I'm going to show in a second, but I'm actually going to just kill them all, so that they don't bother us or bother me. I'm trying to do this. There's one more left. Where's it at? Oh. So if you don't know in this game, when you get shot, it actually slows you down a bunch, which is why I wanted to kill the crawlers here, just to demonstrate this. So this trick is called button jump. Now there's this button here that says we need to push it to activate it. We are not going to do that. You're going to jump on top of the button and then jump up onto here, probably have to crouch jump. Then you're going to jump up onto this little tiny ledge. And our goal is going to be to make it to that rock right there. So you're going to want to sprint up this and jump off about right here or so to make it. If you wait till you're all the way up here, you will hit this ledge or pillar, and it'll knock you down. So it's kind of just like this. You land on this rock right here. It's a little bit tricky the first time you do it. It's not a terribly hard jump, but it can be kind of tricky. So if you run too far up like this, the pillar pushes you out. So you want to do it like midway up this ramp here. That's where you want to start jumping. And you don't want to jump too far left, or else you'll just completely miss and you'll fall into this little hole right here and you'll have to try again. So a simple crouch jump, and yeah, get your footing on this. And I like to jump and just crouch up onto here. Now once you're here, there's actually two ways to do this button jump section. The first way is you're going to run over here onto this. Wow, I almost fell off. You're going to run onto this, and you're going to sprint and jump over to here. Once you're here, you're going to run, jump onto this, jump here, and jump to this rock. And the other method, I might have to actually revert to get back over there. Well, that's fine. The other method will get me into the exact same spot I was, so I'll just do it. I'll try to show how I normally do it in full game this time as well. I'd play auto sentry. I like to kill like one or two, the ones that are shooting at me. Yeah, this one's looking at me, so I have to kill it. That's how you'd normally do it in a full game type situation. But now instead of going to that rock there, we're actually going to make our way over to here, up on this little ledge. We're going to run, jump, and crouch onto this rock. You're going to sprint off and land over here. And this method's about 2 seconds faster than going all the way down and up around. They get you to the same spot. Now when you get to this jump here, this jump can be quite deceiving. Aiming towards this little pocket right here is a trap. Those rocks are slippery, and if you hit those, you'll just slide down, and that floor right there isn't solid. You'll just fall through the world, and you'll end up being dead. And the key to this jump is to jump higher than what you think you need to. So usually about right here is when you jump. If you try to jump late, like down here on this part, you're not going to make it. You're not going to have enough height. I like to aim for over here, because this part right here, the rock is not slippery, so you'll usually be fine. So it's a run, you jump high to crouch and land. And try not to land in there, because that is indeed a trap. This is probably the hardest jump of the entire trick, but it's pretty easy as long as you remember to jump higher instead of jumping lower. And once you're here, he's gonna snag on a rock. You're gonna jump and crouch over here, or just jump over here, sprint and jump to this rock, and it's gonna follow this path that I'm doing. And once you get here, there's a gap here. You're gonna have to sprint, jump across here, and land right on here. Now be careful not to jump when you land, because if you hit this or go too far, you'll actually get a slide jump and you'll fly off the map, so you don't want to do that. Like the jump here, jump onto this rock so I can get up to this one, crouch jump, and then from this point you're going to sprint and you're going to run and jump back onto the ceiling. Try to land into the middle. If you land over to the sides, you'll actually miss because it's not fully there. And then I like to run up here, and once you get to the top, I like to jump, and that loads the map back in. So now that the map's loaded back in, you can come over here to this crevice, keep holding forward, and then you have skipped this entire first section where you encounter a knight, and you have also deloaded the rest of the section until we get to the first pylon. Now, if you walk backwards into here, I'm pretty sure that it actually loads the enemies in, so don't walk backwards. Just keep pushing forward. As you can see, nothing's here, and nothing will be here. So this saves a tremendous amount of time, because you skip one area and you don't have to get shot a lot. I could jump up onto this rock there, and just run through here. Now, this burn on our screen, that's going to be there for the rest of the level. Since you did that trick, it makes that screen burn there. And the terminal that I just passed below me is actually deactivated since we did that skip. So if you want to get the terminal, you have to go through the normal way. And that trick that I just did, we call that button jump, because we jump on a button. And this is first pylon section, so when you get here, you want to try to run and book it to this first little core as fast as you can. There are crawlers behind me. And once you get in here, you just want to punch the core. If your shields are low, you want to let your shields come back. And then we're going to run all the way over here. Try to throw a nade into this core right there. And then we're going to just keep moving forward. Try to kill things that are directly in your path or shooting at you. You're going to just run up here. And once you're up here, usually you can get a checkpoint if you're not being shot. You want that checkpoint, and then you're going to just throw a nade right into there. Very easy. And then you're going to want to jump up this. Don't take too long, though, because a scatter shot knight will spawn. And this, you're going to jump, crouch jump, and then jump immediately again to get up to here. Another very simple jump. Nothing too complicated. And with that done, we are officially done a first pylon. So we're going to run in here, press the elevator button, and then we'll be pulling the core and moving on to the second pylon area, which is, in my opinion, probably the hardest part of this level. So yeah, we mostly skipped that entire first section with a button jump and then just saving those 2 frag nades that we had from the beginning, use them for the cores. It's very important to not use those frag grenades before that, because there's no other point to pick them up, I think, on this level at all. So, yeah, don't throw your frag nades by accident, or else you might have to reset the level, which is never fun. Okay, now that the first core is gone, we are on our way to get the second core. So within the second core area, or second pylon area, we'll be encountering both the Prometheans and the Covenant. And we won't be fighting anything, but we'll be getting shot a lot more than we were in the first section because there's not any deloads. So you get to here, you're going to get a checkpoint. If you don't get a checkpoint, wait down here for a second, let one pop up. Very important. Also, we reverted back a long way. This is what we call a battle jump because we're skipping this battle here. So you can come up to here, you can jump onto this little rock here, and normally we try to make to this rock right there. So we jumped and we made it, and that's good. I'm going to actually revert because there's more ways to do this. If you get shot before you make that jump, you're unfortunately not going to make it. So there's a bit of a safer route, which sometimes I like to take if I'm getting shot a bunch, which is going to this rock right here, and then to that rock right there. And then you can come up here and backsmack this knight for safety if you need it. Now there is a third method that I use in easy. It doesn't seem to work as much on legendary because this like elite is like right here most of the time. But if you jump up here, crouch jump, and then sprint and jump, you can make that as well. I seem to have a lot of success with that on easy. Legendary, not so much for some reason. But that way is definitely a bit faster than jumping up these rocks. So I'll just do the normal route that we usually normally do again. See, I'm being shot, so you want to wait so you're not getting shot. And once you're up here, you just want to book it as quick as you can. There'll be 3 watchers here. I like to AR the watchers that are nearest to me, and then just sprint. And you want to hold X or whatever your board button is to get this ghost. But fully stop, get out, switch ghost, and then you can proceed forward. And then just drive as quick as you can to the end. Try not to be killed. The reason why we switch ghost is due to the fact that the ghosts are actually stuck in a scripted animation where they can't move. And time you actually jump out and I thought you stuck me. You get out and get into the other one. Like the script animation's over, and then we'd be facing the right way. The other ghost that you're originally in is turning backwards. Now once you're here, this is probably the hardest part of the level, this Banshee section. So you get up here, you should get a checkpoint. I may have gotten already. When this door opens, you're going to want to go quickly as you can. Don't let this elite into this Banshee, or it's a lot more challenging. And you're going to just fly up here, try to avoid letting that Banshee hit you. And once you're here, you're going to go up as high as you can, and then dip down. And then right before you hit these rocks, don't boost, or you'll actually hurt your Banshee more. And this is the safe route. You're going to fly all the way to the back here. And you're going to keep going until that other Banshee won't shoot you no more. And then you're going to just keep flying up all the way to the top of this tower. And then you're going to just fly in here. Now, sometimes you can get shot a lot more. And it's a lot harder. And once you're in here, wait till this button activates. Then you can jump out of your Banshee. Or you can like jump out of your Banshee, but you have to like hit a certain point right here for this button to activate, or else it won't. And then you can pull the second core. So that was pretty mellow. I got shot not very much there. Sometimes you can get shot immediately or Banshee bombed immediately. If that happens, it's easier just to revert and then try again, because you get checkpoint right before that door anyway, so it's not too much time loss if you have to revert once or twice when you're learning. Now we're on to I guess the final area before the ghost drive. So upcoming are the 5 enemies that we are actually like required to kill in this level. There's 4 grunts and 1 jackal with a carbine. So I like to always aim for the jackal carbine guy first. He's on the left side. And once you got all of them, there's actually 2 sides here, one to the right, one to the left. The right side's themed so that the Covenant is winning against the Prometheans, and the left side is themed that the Prometheans are winning against the Covenant. We want to go to the left side because the Promethean shots are way less damaging than the Covenant side. And also on the Covenant side, in the second room, there's a phantom that comes in that will absolutely melt you. And on this side, there is no Phantom. There's just one binary rifle knight, which is pretty easy to avoid. So that's why we go left. So you press the button. When you get up here, you want to wait a second. So I get this pillar. I wait, let this elite on the radar. He gets distracted by the Prometheans, and then I like to run forward. And if you're quick enough, you can backsmack this guy. If he's turned around, usually he like waves his hands up in the air and gets mad, and then you can completely just backsmack him or AR him to death. It's no big deal. And then just follow the left side of the room to come into here and hide. Now, once you get in here, you can crouch jump on light rifle crate to get up here to avoid the elevator. You want to just run through the middle of this room. And there's Knight right here. Sometimes he's just not here, which is really nice. That was poor movement on my part. This RNG is also kind of a bad set. Sometimes there'll be absolutely nothing here, and you won't get shot at all. So you want to try to avoid all the gunshots. Avoid this Knight if you can. Then you get in here, you want to sprint and jump and crouch. And then here, just hope the binary rifle guy doesn't shoot you. And duck into cover for here. Now, most of the time, like I said, that Knight that's right there on that ramp that we ran right past won't actually be there. So when that happens, it actually is a lot easier. But that's the general pathing. Just try to avoid enemies and just run straight through the middle. Usually they're too focused on the fight that they're in to actually bother you. And now that we're here, we're going to actually run up here to these crates. You're going to crouch jump onto this right here, onto this ledge. And then you're going to sprint and jump over here to skip where these scattershot knights spawned. And you're going to just run around this right side. Once you're here, I like to just crouch jump up, and then you can press the button. And we've officially skipped everything up to this point, except for those 4 grunts and that 1 carbine guy. And now we're doing the ghost section, which, in some people's opinion, is the hardest part of the entire level, just because the ghost physics are kind of bad in Halo 4. But yeah, now it's just like a 2-minute driving section, so not much really to do or explain. I would say the best strat is to try to stay in the middle of the path. If you are off to the left or to the right, you may be more prone to flip. And it's also better to leave the grunts alone. Don't try and spider them, because sometimes they can flip you. So if you see a pack of grunts, don't be tempted to just run them over. Even though it's tempting, it's better not to do it. So yeah, all these grunts, it's better just to avoid them entirely. There is an actual like ghost skip here that was found somewhat recently, but it's kind of tricky, and no one's really used it in an IL yet either. It saves about, I think, 6-7 seconds, so I might be making something separate for that, but no one's actually used it yet. Yeah, like I said, just follow the middle of the path. I don't like to hold like my thumbsticks back or forward or anything when I'm doing jumps. I just let the ghost do what it normally does, and it seems to work out pretty well. I don't know if holding back or holding forward would help at all, the flipping issue, but normally just doing nothing seems to work. And we're actually almost done with the ghost section. We are in the final stretch. So once again, stay in the middle, try to avoid the grunts if you can. Sometimes it's hard to because they're just right in the way. And yeah, we have almost at the end here. Here's the final portal right there. So once again, I just like to not do anything. And there you go. Forerunner is finished. So the mission has very little combat. There's really not too much going on in this level, combat-wise. So it's mostly just memorizing the route for button jump and just knowing which areas to be in to avoid enemy gunshots. It's really simple to learn, so It shouldn't take too long to figure out. But thanks for watching. If you are, hope this is helpful. And bye.